So, dear students, today our topic is tongue regarding the anatomy and physiology of tongue. So, tongue it is a part of oral cavity. So, tongue it was play an important role in the digestion and as well as the tongue it was play an important role in the detections of the special senses like a taste. So regarding the tongue, so tongue is a muscular organ. So that was located in the mouth. So tongue, so they are mainly made up of the straighted muscles. Okay, so that are covered with the one mucous membranes. So tongue is a voluntary muscular structure. It means the tongue is also consist of the skeletal muscles. Our tongue is made from the skeletal muscle due to that it was consist of the voluntary muscular structure. So regarding the length, our tongue and average in the healthy human being. So the length of the tongue is a 3 inches. So some people they having the greater than the 3 inches, but an and average the length of the tongue is a 3 inches. So regarding the location, so it was present in the floor of the mouth. So inside the mouth and along with the teeth. So that is the locations of the tongue. So it can attach with the higher bones and present in the floor of the mouth. So that was helpful for the mixing of the food. So that of with the saliva. So that was secreted in the oral cavity. Okay, so regarding the shape, the tongue is a triangular in shape. So it is attached with the mandible and as well as the hyoid bones. Okay, so hyoid bone it is a backside bone or present in the vertebral column, so just below the skull. So that hyoid bone, so were one muscular organ, so that was the attached. So that is the tongue. Okay, it is the tongue. It is also has the apex as well as body and the root. So regarding the surfaces, the tongue will be having the mainly two surfaces, that is the superior surfaces and as well as inferior surfaces. So what are surfaces? What are the tongue? So that was you are located in the oral cavity. So that is the superior surfaces and just below, so that cannot be easily located. So whatever the part of the tongue, so that was attached with the higher bone with the help of the special type of the curved tissues and certain type of the tissues. Okay, so that part of the tongue or surfaces is known as a inferior surfaces. So regarding the superior surfaces, once again the superior surfaces it was divided into three part or three surfaces. The first two-third part, that is the anterior, so that part was known as the oral part. The first part, so this is the anterior parts of the tongue. So it is the two-third total length. It means the total length of the tongue is a 3 inches. It means that it is the around 2 inches. So that part of the tongue is known as the anterior part or also known as the oral part. So these entire parts of the tongue or oral part of the tongue, so it was consist of the various papillae. So on their structure. So those papillae, so they will be having the certain type of the special type of the cells, or those are known as the taste buds. So due to presence of the papillae along with the taste buds, so this oral part are entire parts of the tongue. So that was involved in the detections of the taste and as well as, so this part, so that was helpful for the mastications or helpful for the mixing of the food, so that off with the digestive juice, so that was secreted in the oral cavity. So in the oral cavity, so the mainly the saliva was secreted, so that was consist of the various enzymes. Okay, so those enzyme is helpful for the digestion of food in the oral cavity itself. and just after the entire parts of the tongue, that is the one third part of the tongue, is known as a posterior part of the tongue. So that is the after the entire parts. So this is the posterior parts of the tongue. Okay, so that is the one third. It is also called as the pharyngeal part. So this pharyngeal part or posterior part, it do not containing any papillae. It means the posterior parts of the tongue, it do not involved in the detections of the taste. Only papillae, so along with the taste buds, so they are present in the entire parts of the tongue. So that's why the entire parts are oral parts of the tongue, so that was only involved in the detections of the taste and not a posterior parts or pharyngeal parts due to lack of the papillae. And the posterior part, it is consist of the lymphatic nodules. So those are play an important role in the defense mechanism. So due to presence of the lymphatic nodules, so where the various defense cells like a T lymphocytes as well as the B lymphocytes, so they are present. And those nodules, so whenever during the digestion, so they are releases the, so those lymphocytes, so when the microorganisms they are present in the food are generated in the oral cavity. So that's why the posterior parts of the tongue that was involved in the defense mechanism, it was give the primary protection to our body, where whatever the microorganisms, so they try to enter our body through a oral cavity, so due to presence of the lymphatic nodules. And as well as the posterior part, it is also consist of the lingual tonsils. Okay, so these tonsils is also considered as the storehouse for the T lymphocytes. So T lymphocytes, so these are the special type of the WBC cells. So those are involved in the cellular mediated immunity. So they having a different type of cells. That is the cytotoxic cells. Then natural killer cells are also known as the NK cells. Then memory cells, then supportive cells. So there are the different type of the T lymphocytes are there. So they are also stored in the tonsils. So that's why the tonsils, it was play an important role in the reservoir for the immunity molecules or components like a T lymphocytes. So due to that, so in the oral cavity itself, so when we are having the, and there is a microorganism, they are try to enter into our body, so they are killed by their only. Okay, see, if they are fail means, then they are enter into our stomach, from the stomach they are spread in the body. So that is the role of the posture due to presence of the lymphatic nodules as well as the lingual tonsils, so they are involved in the defense mechanism. And even in the case of any inflammation in the oral cavity, so on that time the tonsils are swelled. Okay, so maybe they are formed the converted into glandulars, or maybe they are more swelled. So on that time in the certain uh, human beings, the doctors, so they remove the those tonsils. Okay, so due to inflammation or oral thrush that can affect the tonsils, so then the doctor they try to improve the health of that patient by removing the tonsils. And in those patients, the tonsils are removed, and those patient always having the weak immunity. Okay, so easily, so the microorganisms, so they enter the body, so due to lack of the tonsil, so that's why the tongue is also play an important role in the defense mechanisms. And this is the last surfaces of the superior surfaces, so that was known as the base root of the tongue, or base of the tongue, or root of them. So this last part are the base root of tongue, so that was play an important role in the to initiate the movement of the tongue. So the movement of the tongue, so that was mainly are depending upon the that is the base of the tongue or root of the tongue. So that movement of tongue is helpful for the speech, and also it is helpful for the mechanical digestions of the food in the oral cavity as well as enzymatic because it is helpful for to mix the food so that off with the saliva. So regarding the functions, so the tongue, so it was play an important role in the detections of the taste because so entire parts of the tongue on their surfaces they will be having the different types of the papillae. So on their papillae surfaces, so the different type of the taste buds are present. So those are involved in the detections of the taste. So whatever the food, so they are we are taken in or they are enter into the oral cavity, and these taste buds, so they are involved in the to detections of test with the help of the CNS. Okay, it can give the signal to CNS with the help of the certain cranial nerve. So then only we are able to detect the test. Otherwise, if any problem in the test buds, okay, so due or any microbial infections or oral thrush, so there is the functions of the test bud, so they are decreases. So due to that, so we are unable to identify or to detect the test. And as well as the tongue, so it was play an important role in the digestions of the food because the movement of the tongue due to base of the tongue, so that was helpful for the mastification process. So that is to convert larger particle into smaller particle due to movement of the tongue. And also, so that was helpful for to mix with the saliva or digestive juice. So mixing process, so that was helpful for to expose the food more to the salivary amylase. So it is an important step to improve or keep the health or to maintain the good health of the our body. So maximum time you can chew the drug, you can chew the food in the oral cavity, because in the mechanical life, in the stressful life, in the hurry life, we are not chewing any food in the oral cavity, immediately we can swallow it. So actually the old peoples, our grandfather so many people there, so they are told to us, so at you can chew the food at least 20 to 22 times in the oral cavity, because so that 22 steps or 20 to 22 steps, so that was helpful for complete mixing of the food with the saliva. And also due to chewing movement or mastication process in the oral cavity, so then only it can give the signal to the salivary gland. Okay, so suppose you think you chewing some food without any food, you can try that one. So now also in your oral cavity the saliva was increased. So this is a one of the step, it is was helpful for you for to prevent the dryness of the mouth. So otherwise, if you're taking the easy food and directly you can swallow without any chewing, then the saliva was not secreted, then that was also responsible for to cause of the dryness of the mouth. So that's why, so due to tongue movement, so that is helpful for the mixing with the food with the saliva, and as well as the mastication process. So due to that, that was play an important role in the digestions of the food in the oral cavity, that was helpful for to decrease the acid secretions also, because the food become the chyme, so that the digestion of chyme in the stomach, that was required the less that the gastric juice. So that's why the health of the stomach is also depending upon the movement of the tongue or chewing capacity of the our food in the oral cavity. So as well as the tongue, so it was play so an important role in the productions of the speech. So tongue, the movement of tongue, so it was helpful for to facilitate the speech. So it means the tongue is also involved in the regulations of the speech. So these are the various functions of tongue, so that was involved in the detections of the taste as well as the mastication, and as well as they are play an important role in the to facilitate or to regulate the speech. So regarding the papillae, so papillae, so these are the special structure or surfaces. So they are present on the surface of the tongue. So papillae, so they are mainly formed by a epithelial tissue. So tongue is a skeletal muscle. Okay. So on the surface of the skeletal muscles or voluntary muscles on the tongue, one smooth surfaces is present, that is the made up of the epithelial tissue. So that surfaces is known as the papillae. and the papillae is also having the surfaces, and those surfaces of the papillae, so they are consist of the taste buds. So here the papillae, so what are papillae? So they are present in our oral cavity on the tongue. So they are mainly categorized, or they are the mainly four types. One is the valate, also known as the circumulate. It was present in the just end of the anterior part, or starting of the posterior parts of the tongue. Okay, so this is the locations of the circumulate papillae. So it is, there is a total 8 to 12 numbers of circulate papillae, so they are present here. Okay, so they are also consist of the taste buds, and those are involved in the detections of the bitter taste. It means the circumulate papillae, so they look like a v shape lines, and as well as they are the blunt ended cylindricals. So they are located 8 to 12 number on their surface. So they have in the taste buds, and those taste buds, so they are involved in the detections of the bitter. Okay, that is the detections of the bitter taste. So next one is the, that is the filiform. So this is the exact the center of the tongue. So that is the locations of the filiform of papillae, or filiform papillae. So it is a thin long papillae, so having a point ended in the both side, it will be having the point ended. Okay, so these are numerous in number, so large in number, so they are present in the here exactly in the center of the entire parts of the that is the tongue. Okay, so these filiform papillae do not containing any taste buds. So that's why the filiform papillae, okay, so it are present in the here, so these do not involved in the detections of the taste, but the filiform papillae, so that was involved in the mechanical digestions of the food. So what are the mechanical digestion is there? There is a larger particle going to smaller particle. So that was the due to the movement of the filiform papillae, or the rough surfaces of the filiform papillae. So that was helpful for the mechanical digestions of the food, but it do not contain any kind of the taste buds. So that's why it do not involved in the to participates in the detections and regulations of the taste. So next one is the, that is the uh, fungiform papillae. So this is, these are the locations of the fungiform papillae. So these are also present in the entire parts of the tongue. So their shape is slightly mushroom like shape. Okay, so on their surfaces, so they are consist of the taste buds also. So those taste buds, so they are involved in the detections of the sour, or detections of the salty taste. Okay, and also the sweet. So these fungiform papillae, they consist of the taste buds, so they are involved in the detections of the taste also. And the last papillae, so that was known as the folate. So that is the apex. Okay, so the apex of the tongue, so that is the locations of the foliate papillae. So these are also consist of the taste buds, so they are mainly involved in the detections of the sour, as well as the detections of the spit. Okay, so in our tongue, so an and average, there are 2000 to 8000 taste buds are present on the surface of the papillae, or on the surface of the tongue. Okay, so these papillae are taste bud. So they are consist of the 5 different type of cells. So due to presence of these type of cells, so then only our tongue was able to so detect the different type of the taste. Okay, so they are mainly, that is the type 1 cells, that is known as the glial like cells. Then type 2, they are the taste receptor cells, and type 3, so they are the presynaptic cells, and the type 4, so they are known as the Bessel cells. Okay, so type 1 cells are glial cells. It is mainly consist of the cell markers like a GLAST, then NTP days, then ENAX. So this type of cells, So they are involved in the detections of the salty taste that was present in the food. Okay, the salty taste, so that was detected by the, so these type of cells, the major function is, so when the salt is enter in the oral cavity, so due to entry of salt, certain potential changes will be occurs in the these cells. Then these cells convert certain action potential or generate certain action potential, and those impulses or action potential, they are reaches to the CNS. So then only our CNS can detect the salty taste with the help of the glial like cells or type 1 cells. And type 2 cells, they are also known as the taste receptor cells. So these are consist of cell markers like T1RS, T2RS, alpha gusducin, then as well as PLC beta 2, then IP3R3, then the TRPMS, then CALHMN. So these are the cell marker. So due to presence of these cell marker in these type 2 cells, so this cell is involved in the detections of the sweet, bitter, umami, as well as taste, the umami test, then as well as the lipid sensing test. So these are the rules of the type 2 cells, those are present in the test buds. Then the third type cell, that was known as the presynaptic cells. It was mainly consist of the serotonin, that is 5-HT, then GAD67, SNAP 25, then PKD 1L3, as well as L2L1, then NACAM. Then also it can consist of the chromograin, and these cells, it was involved in the detections of the SOR test. Then there is the fourth cell, that was known as the Bessel cells. So it consists of the cell markers like a SHH. So it was involved in the to differentiate the different type of the test cells. Okay, so these are the various taste buds along with their cells. So they are present on the surface of the papillae, and papillae are present on the surface of the entire parts of the tongue, and these are involved in the detections of the test. So an average, there is a 2000 to 8000 taste buds, so they are present on the surface of the papillae. So they are involved in the detections of bitter taste, sour taste, sweet taste, and as well as umami taste. And also they are involved in the lipid sensing. So next ones we can discuss regarding the physiology of taste. So dear students, so in the physiology of the test, so they are mainly involved in the, so these different type of cell, that are glial cells involved in the salty taste detections, and taste receptor cell, they are involved in the sweet, bitter, umami taste, lipid sensing test, and presynaptic cells, so they are involved in the sour test. And these cells, when these type of the food, so that was enter in the oral cavity, so they are on, when they are enter, so they are convert certain action potential. Okay, so then since they are converted into the action potential, and those action potential is carried towards the our cerebral cortex for detections of the taste buds, or towards the taste bud centers. Okay, those are present in the cerebral cortex. Okay, so those three nerves, they are mainly with the help of the, so these three nerves, so these three nerves are the, that is the seventh cranial nerve. So it is carries the impulses from two-thirds of the tongue, that is the, from the anterior two-thirds of the tongue. So water stimuli is occurs, so with the help of the these cells, so those in stimuli carried towards the cortex for detections of the taste. And this seventh cranial nerve is also known as the facial nerve. So its nuclei or its nerve control system, so that was mainly present in the pons and medulla. Okay, so their message was integrated, so that message was resent to the cortex, then only the taste centers, those are present in the cortex, so they are able to detect the what kind of the test, so with the help of the facial nerve. And regarding the, that is the uh, ninth cranial nerve, that was known as the glossopharyngeal nerve. So its nuclei is also present in the pons and medulla, and this glossopharyngeal nerve it can carries the nerve impulses regarding the test that was generated by these cells from the one third of posterior parts of the tongue. So from where it can carries towards the cortex. And next one is the, so that is the uh, eighth vagus nerve. So it can carries the impulses from the epiglottis and as well as from the pharynx. So it means the facial nerve and ninth candle, that is the glossopharyngeal, so they are involved in the detections of the test by carrying the impulses from these cells. So those impulses, so those are reaches to the nucleus tractus solitux. So that was present in the pons and medulla oblongata. Further, that was sent to the thalamus, and thalamus it was the uh, relay station, so that whatever the impulses came from the pons and medulla with the help of the seventh canal nerve as well as ninth and tenth canal, so that was relay towards the cortex. So those cortex they are consist of the that is a test centers. So then the test was detected. So in the inside the cells, so when you were taken the food, so with respect to the those test, so they can cause a certain stimuli. Okay, so in the cells, so due to that stimuli, so in the on these cells the sodium channels are opens. So when we suppose for example we can take the salt, so on that time, so these on the glial cells the stimuli is generated due to entry of the salt in the surface of the glial cells. So due to stimuli, so sodium channels on the glial cells, so that was open. So due to opening of sodium channels, so inside the glial cells, the depolarization is occurs. Okay, so inside cell, the depolarization is occurs. So due to depolarization, the calcium channel is open on the glial cells. So due to opening of calcium channel, the calciums can be accumulated inside the glial cells. Then, so they are create the certain action potential or message in the form of the AP or action potential. So that action potential that was generated by the glial cell, it was encoded, it was having the message regarding the salty test. Okay, so that message was carried by the, that is the facial nerve as well as the ninth cranial nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal, towards the nucleus tractus solitarius. Those are present in the pons and medulla. Once again, they replied reaches to the thalamus. From the thalamus, so that was reaches to the cortex. So then only cortex integrate that message. Okay, then so that answer was written to the tongue, you can solve it, otherwise you can spit it. Okay, so like that the message is also reaches through the tongue, whether you take the intake or you can spit out or to ignore the that food. Okay, so like that integrated message is also, that was answer was generated here. So then only we can take the more food, otherwise we can avoid the food due to detections of test by the cortex or taste buds. So those are present in the cerebral cortex, and same message, so that was returned towards the trunk with the help of the same canal nerve, because these canal nerve, so they are the mixed type, both they are the sensory nerve as well as motor. Sensory nerve means, so they carries the message from tongue to the cortex, and motor means from the answer from the motor cortex, so that was reaches to the tongue. So that's why, so due to these three nerves they are the mixed in nature. So that's why, so they are completely involved in the regulations of the movement of the tongue as well as the detections of the taste. So this part of the tongue, so that was helpful for the detections of the sore taste. So whatever cells are present in these parts of the tongue, so those are involved in the detections of the salt. Then this the apex of the tongue or tip of the tongue, so that was involved in the detections of the sweet. Then, so this part, okay, so that is the end of the entire parts and starting of the posterior part. So this part that was involved in the detections of the bitter test. So like that the tests can be detected by the our test center, those are present in the cortex. So with the help of the, so these cranial nerve, and as well as with the help of the these cells. So next we can learn regarding the spatial senses nose. So already the anatomy and physiology of the nose we are learning the, that is the respiratory tract. So that was where it was play an important role in the inhalations of the air as well as humidifications of the air or warming of the air. So whatever the nose, so that was present, its location is, it was present in the face or in the cranium or in the skull. Okay, so that nose is mainly divided into, that is the two part, external nose and as well as the internal nose. So external nose, so it was formed so with the help of the frontal bone, nasal bone, maxillae, and as well as, so these bones are joined together so with the help of the septal cartilage. So these four components, so they are responsible for the formations of the external nose. And regarding internal nose, so internal nose, so it was made with the help of the ethmoid bone and maxilla bone and nasal concha bone. So they are forms the cavity. That cavity can belongs to the internal. So that's why. So these are the various bones of the face or skull. So they are responsible for the formations of the nasal cavity or the formations of the nose. So that the nose that divided into two parts, that is the external nose and as well as the internal nose. Okay, so regarding the functions, the nose, it was mainly play an important role in the warming and moistening and filtering the incoming air. So it consists of the nostrils or nares. So those nares, so they are helpful for filtering the incoming air, and as well as the nose, it can guard the secretions in the form of the nasal secretions. So that nasal secretion or nose secretion, so that was helpful for to moistening the warm air. Okay, as well as, so in the winter season, it can warm the air, but in summer it can moisten the air. And during the travel in the air, so whatever the dust particles that enter through the air, so that cannot be enter in our respiratory tract. So due to the presence of the nares or simple hairs, so they are present in the nose. So where they can be filtered. That is the major functions of the nose. So next one, so nose is also helpful for the detections of the olfaction, that is the smell, because the nose is mainly consist of the special type of the receptors. So those receptors are known as the olfactory receptors. So those olfactory receptors, so they are interconnected with the olfactory nerve. So then, due to presence of those arrangement, so this nose, it was involved in the detections of the smell, that whatever we are inhaled, that one from the environment. So that was detected. So with the help of the olfactory nerve or olfactory bulb or olfactory receptors. So those are present in the nose. So another functions of the nose. So it was involved in the modifications of the speech. So it can give the certain resonance to our speech. Okay, without nose, our sound do not have the Dolby like sound. Okay, or resonance. Okay, or our voice can or a speech cannot be understood by the others. So that's why the nose, it can vibrates or it can use the one rhythm to the speech, so that can easily understand by the others. So that's why the nose is also play an important role in the regulations of the speech, along with the regulations of the smell, and also that was involved in the filtering of the incoming air. So regarding the physiology of smell, so dear students, so the nose are, that the external parts of the nose, it was having the special type of receptors. So those receptors, so those are known as the olfactory receptor cells. Okay, so they are present in the mucosal membrane or olfactory mucosa that is enclosed in the nose. Okay, so these, when we take the smell, okay, so whatever the cells are present in the here, okay, in the nose, so they are activated. So due to activations of the olfactory receptor cells, once again the sodium channel is open here. So due to opening of sodium channel, the depolarization is causes. So due to depolarization, the calcium is enter, or calcium channel is open. Due to that, the calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, or calcium can be enter. Then the calcium concentration is increases. So this increased calcium concentration in the receptor cell responsible for the generations of the action potential, that was known as a AP. Okay, so that AP, action potential, is carried towards the olfactory bulb. So with the help of the olfactory nerve. So the olfactory nerve is the cranial nerve. So they are mainly major role. So whatever the action potential or information, so that was generated in the olfactory receptor cells. So those are carried towards the olfactory bulb, and these olfactory bulb, they are consist of the different type of the cell. Those are known as the mitral cells and as well as Taft cells. So these cells, so they can bifurcate the whatever the action potential regarding the respective smell. So these olfactory bulb, so with the help of the, so these cells, so they further, so they are reply the same action potential towards the frontal cortex or hypothalamus, amygdala, and hippocampus according to the generations of the action potential, so that was generated in the receptor cell. Okay, so when the smell is regarding the conscious perception smell, so on that time what action potential is generated, so that was reaches to the frontal cortex. Okay, then the frontal cortex, it was involved in the detections of the conscious perceptions type of the smell. If it is motivational or emotional aspects of smell, so on that time, so these cells of the olfactory, okay, so like that, so these olfactory bulb, so with the help of the different arrangements of the cell, so they are bifurcated the different type of the smell. Okay, if that is the conscious perceptions of smell, so that action potential that was generated in the receptor cell, that was transmitted towards the frontal cortex. It was consist of the smell center. Then it was helpful for detections of the conscious and perceptions of the smell. When it is a motivational or emotional aspects of smell, then so that messages is reaches to the hypothalamus and amygdala. So that's why when you are taken the certain mogra perfumes, so on that time our brain is relaxed, because so that was detected by the this part amygdala, and amygdala is also involved in the regulations of the memory. So due to that reason only we are clean our room, and we are also using the room fresheners during the study hours, that was enhance the our memory or concentrations of the brain due to presence of the that is the smell receptors in the hypothalamus and amygdala. So they are helpful for detections of the motivational and aspects of smell. Along with when they got their activities start to work, so due to that the memory power is also increases, our brain can be more concentrated on the study. Then if it is a odor or odor memory or odor type of smell, then that action potential regarding the information that was reaches to the hippocampus. Okay, then the hippocampus campus, it was involved in the detections of the odor memory. So then, so that detected was reaches to the your cerebral cortex. There is a primary olfactory cortex. Then they are involved in that to find out the solutions. What can we take? You stand there, or you can away from there. You can use the mask. Whatever the answer that was returned to your nose and your hands. So with the help of the another motor nerves or neurons. So like that. So that is a frontal cortex or hypothalamus, amygdala, then as well as hippocampus. So they are involved in the detections of the smell. So with the help of the olfactory nerve or olfactory receptor type of the cells, so where when you take the smell through the nose, so then the stimuli that can causes the activations of sodium channel. Due to that, the sodium can enter inside the receptor cells and sodium was accumulated. Then it was developed the positive environment that was known as the depolarization. So that depolarization was responsible for to cause the release of calcium. Then the calcium can accumulate. As the concentrations of calcium in the cells is increased, mean the cells will be start to work. Okay, every cell in the body, if the calcium is accumulated, mean that cell can start to show the action or start to the work. And here it was involved in the generations of the information in the form of the ep or in the form of the action potential, so that can carried by a special type of the cranial nerve. So those are known as the olfactory nerve that was reaches to the olfactory bulb, and from the olfactory bulb it was be bifurcated and reaches to the different smell center. Those are present in frontal cortex, hypothalamus, amygdala, and as well as the hippocampus. So like that, the smell can be regulated in our body, so with the help of the special olfactory cells and olfactory nerve.